this of the journey to finding what you might be thinking of as the path is always going to be of the challenging, because it's going to be asking you, are you sure you are wanting to be on this path? Are you really sure you are wanting to be on this path? And then it might even ask you once more, are you really, really sure to be on this path? When you are connecting in at the soul aspect level and that energetic quality of resonance level, then you can be connecting with the ultimate nature of what it is you are meant to be delivering here in this of the moment. And one of the complexities is things are moving on much of the quickness, and things are expanding much of the quickness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Galactic Gardens. And we have our channel, Marcus Bird. Hi, Marcus.
Hey there, Eleni, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really
That's good.
excited for you to bring in Ameed today, who is the spirit energy that
What do
you
you want to call it?
that you channel.
Yeah, yeah.
And very excited to bring her in. You've been channeling her for the last 3 decades, and she's a physical being from the Lyra star system. And these are very, very interesting times. So I'm really, really
They
keen to see
are.
what she's going to say.
Yeah, they are interesting times. So, did you have questions today, or are we going to follow the flow?
I, well, we'll do both. We'll see what. Yeah, I do
Okay.
actually have a question about
Oh, good. All
the
right.
period of time that we're actually in,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, let's just
which
sort of
feels
see.
feels very transformative.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do that. All right. I'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side. And so, what Marcus is doing is basically getting out of his own way and his ego identity, his personality is stepping aside, and he's now becoming a clear conduit, a clear channel to Ahmed, who is a female energy that lives on another planet and acts as a spirit mentor to Marcus and brings in guidance to us every single week. And if you're interested in how the journey began for Marcus, you need to see episode 1, which is really, really fascinating because he was very conservative with his perspective and his belief system before Amid came into the scene.
There's much of the joyness that we are being here in this of the sacredness of the moment, Miss of the Eleni. It's a much of the joyness, and you are being thinking of much of the specialness of this. What you are thinking of as the time space, and that many of the exciting things are opening of the upness and of the expansionness, and there is much of the awakening, or what we all would be like to be saying of the remembering. There is a much of a what you might think of as a blueprint that exists within of the DNA matrix that carries forth all of the information and all of the memorying of these of the lifetimes of the humanity of the lifetimes. So your whole of the species is contained within of the what you call of the DNA of the matrix. So this is much of a remembering opportunity as much as it is of the awakening. You are here to be of the remembering space and to be of the activation of the matrix, of the codes, of the vortex of the information. This is why often when you are seeing certain of the things, they are bringing up of the memories, and you are thinking it is very of the familiar, even though you have not necessarily been hearing of it in of your this of the lifetime path. But yeah, as you are being in of the expanding, you are reaching into more of the remembering. This is of the collectiveness of the remembering, not just what you might be thinking of as your of the life or the past life, or where you may have been in a physical form in once of the time ago, but much more importantly that you can be of the understanding that all of that information is contained within you. All of the collectiveness of the information is contained within you. This is much of the excitement.
Yes, it's interesting you say that because a concept that I heard recently, which really resonated with me, is when we experience deja vu, it's actually our soul remembering its soul path. And there feels to me like recently there's been a lot of deja vu moments where it's like, oh, I feel like I've seen this scene before. And it really resonated that that's what deja vu is. It's our soul who knew this path is now seeing the scenes unfold before it.
Mm.
So, what are your thoughts on that, Ahmed?
This is, you are thinking much of the rightness with this of your thoughtness, because when you are having like what you're calling of the deja vu, it is another of the remembering, but you are being of the remembering of the path that is already being of the laid out in of the front of you. You are making much of the big decision before you are what you call incarnating into this existence. And once again, we were standing of the togetherness, and in of the togetherness, we were looking much at this of the path, and the path was much laid down there in the before. And as much as you are thinking that you have the infinite choices and infinite of the possibility, this is not necessarily of the fullness of the truth. In that you are deciding much of a path, you are deciding much of the experiences that you are wishing to be of the remembering, and that you do still have of the choices, but you have. What you're thinking somewhat of the limited choices, unless you are in a space of shifting into of the timelines, because in of the reality there are multiple of the timelines that you can be choosing to be of the existing in, and within each of the timelines is a restricted what you might be thinking of a contained amount of choices that you can be of the making. And therefore, when you are in of the deja vu-ness, you are recognizing the choices that you have been making of in the pastness before you are being in of the incarnation into this existence. And it is just maybe recognition to go, yeah, that is rightness. I'm on the rightness of the path because this is what I was choosing before I was coming into this space. One of the things that you will realize in of the time is the existence of the time and how the timelines are playing out in this of the reality. Because when you are once again of the returning and unification, you will see that this is not of the linear time space. This is much more of the spherical nature of the reality, and your infiniteness of the choice happens when you are outside of this existence. When you are inside of this existence and you are playing in of the illusion, then you are tapping into and out of that illusion that you have infinite choices and infinite opportunities, because in of the holistic nature and the biggerness of the picture, from a soul aspect point of view, you absolutely have of the infinite of the possibilities and infinite of the pathway opportunities. But once you are in of the choosing of a timeline, then you are within that of the timeline. This does not mean you cannot be shifting or jumping into other of the timelines, but you are what you might be thinking of connected into a resonant frequency octave of, or resonant frequency octave of existence. Within that resonant frequency octave, there are only so many choices that are of the availability, unless you are changing of the octave, and then it opens up other of the choices for you. But when you are standing on the other side of the veil, you are in of the infinite nature of reality, and therefore there is infinite choices and infinite possibilities, and you are much more in of the freeness. Whereas when you come into this of the dimension of reality, you are not in of the ultimateness of the freeness. You are contained within bands of the resonant frequency states. And again, the recognition of the pathway that you have been choosing, or the timeline that you have been choosing, is when you are stepping somewhat into the deja vu type of reality. It is of the confirmation, like you are being of the saying.
Mm. It feels at the moment that the energy that I'm feeling at the moment is that it's very transformative. That this is an opportunity to really be a creator on a higher timeline. What can we do to make sure that we make the most of our opportunities during this transformative stage on our planet?
Mm. One of the mostness of the importance is For you to be in of the awareness consciousness state and to be expanding into the awareness consciousness state, if you are thinking of taking of the mostness out of this experience, then much better to be in of the awareness state and to be focusing on the expansion of your consciousness, part of which is an awareness state where you can be taking in all of the frequencies, all of the energies, all of the resonance, all of the experiences, but be much in of the presence of those experiences so that in any given moment you are taking in the full energetic quality of that which is appearing, both in of the fiveness of the senses, but also of the sixth and the seventh of the senses, that you are taking in of the colors and of the sounds and of the smells and of the tastes and just breathing into the expansiveness of every moment of the every moment. But this much takes much of the expansion of the consciousness and of the awareness state to be much in of the presence, not be caught in of the linear timeline where you are being stuck in of the past or in of the future. This is what many of your what you're calling saints and of the wise ones that they have been telling you this for many, many of the time. And this could not be more of the truth in this of the moment. Many of you are in of this space of expanded awareness and of the expanded consciousness, and you are seeing of the conflicts that play out when you are in this state. And now, more than ever, in this of the reality, you have more that are in of the expansion and more that are in of the not of the expansion, and um, uh, the obviousness of the difference is much of the heightened in this of the moment. This is of the importance because this will be of the assistance to bring those that are not in of the expansion into the of the expansion, because they will be more and more wondering what are these people who are in of the expansion and what are they taking, what have they been gifted, and why are they so much more feeling of the betterness than maybe I am feeling of the betterness. Right now, you're in the middle of this shift that is of the happening, because sometimes it looks like those that are of the unconscious are much more of the happier. We are understanding that they are going about day to day of the life in somewhat of what you might be calling of the ignorance. But what will be happening is, as the dimensions are of the stretching, it is a bit like if you are not voluntarily of the stretching or of the expanding, it would be like someone pulling on your of the skin and just pulling harder and harder, and you're saying, I'm ignoring that, I'm not playing in that, I don't know what you are talking about, and therefore you are going to be in of the painness. But if you allow yourself to be in of the expansion, then no one is going to be on the pulling of your skin. You are just expanding into the next version of the skin, which is much of the expandedness of the consciousness state.
At the moment, let's take this, right down to something personal. So your channel, Marcus, is feeling pulled from post to pillar. He's like got a lot on, and do you have any words for him in terms of his conflicting demands?
One of the things that we would be of the sharing, which we have been of the sharing, is to be stopping of the thinking about of the process and be trying to be of the working of the outness. And just be settling into of the energetic quality of what is being presented, and therefore being deeper in of the truth nature and being of the okayness with of the truth nature. But the key here is to be of the feeling into and following of the energy. We have often been telling him to be of the following of the energy, and sometimes he is following of the energy, and sometimes he is scared of the following of the energy. But it is much of the importance to be sitting in of this space and being what we might be thinking of the real with of the energy, and where is the energy asking any of you to of the be? What is the space that it is asking you to be? And therefore, being in a what you might think of as a center point, or of the stable nature, or of the calm quietness of the nature, and then be asking of the question. Because sometimes you are all being caught in of the busyness, and when you are caught in of the busyness, it takes you away from the truth of the energetic quality of what your soul, or what is the universe asking you to be stepping into. When you can be of the quietness and of the settledness and just be in of the peaceness for one of the moments, then you can connect into of the truth. And then it is a matter of be speaking of the truth. Then what is important is going to be of the showing up, and then what is needed is going to be of the showing up, and then it is just being of a matter of the doing of those things that are required. And therefore, this of the journey to finding what you might be thinking of as the path is always going to be of the challenging, because it's going to be asking you, are you sure you are wanting to be on this path? Are you really sure you are wanting to be on this path? And then it might even ask you once more, are you really, really sure to be on this path? When you are connecting in at the soul aspect level and that energetic quality of resonance level, then you can be connecting with the ultimate nature of what it is you are meant to be delivering here in this of the moment. And one of the complexities is things are moving on much of the quickness, and things are expanding much of the quickness. So things are shifting and all of the moving to help you to step much into the most active space that you can be delivering your what you're calling of your wisdom at the highest or most expanded level of the possible. So we would be asking just to be of the stopping, and just be of the feeling into, and then just be of the reality of that experience, and then allowing everything to move to fit into that. This is just a confirmation space. This is just about anchoring space. This is just about the reality space.
Perfect advice and guidance as usual, Ameed. Yes, we need to stop and follow the energy, stop trying to work things out from our head. That's not where it's at. We need to stop, breathe, feel the energy, follow the energy, because that is the most expansive state.
This is much of the truthness, much of
Thank
the
you so
love,
much.
much of the joy.
Thank you.
Much love.
Much love, much joy.
Oh, God. Ah, ah. There we go.
Uh,
How was that
did,
today?
did you get the end of that?
I got little bits of it. Yeah. I got but I've sort of had a bit of a chat to her before about some, and
Okay.
I think the main thread that I take from that is just to be in stillness for a bit, and then allow it to, confirm itself, whatever it is. I think
Yes,
that's the key.
whatever it is.
And
That's right.
yeah, and not the working out stuff or the getting
Mm.
caught in the whirlwind of anything. These things sometimes create whirlwinds to help you to find the center point. It'll create a tornado, right? And it's easy to get caught in the tornado, but if you sit right in the middle of the tornado, it's clear. There's no
Yes,
swirling.
yes,
There's no, and I think that's the image that's coming to my mind.
yeah. And she also confirmed what I said before our call
Right.
started, which was
Yeah.
we're going to get asked again and
Yeah.
again, is this what you want to do? Are
Yeah.
you sure
Totally.
this is what you want to do?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah. Right.
really sure this is what you want to do? So
I
she
think.
basically
Yeah.
said the same thing that I
Oh,
said
really?
because it
Okay.
feels it feels like that. Like
Yeah.
whenever
I
we
think
make
you're
a
right.
decision, it's like, well, let's see. Let's see. Are
Really?
you
Do you
really
really want
committed?
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really?
No, I
Really?
agree. I think that's true. I think that's true. So, yeah. So that's
Okay.
helpful. Yay.
So,
Beautiful.
if you're
Hopefully that helps
listening,
others.
exactly. So if you're listening out there and, you've got a dilemma, you feel like you've got to do this and you've got to do that and you've got to do
Yeah.
everything and you don't know what to do
Yeah.
and you've got to work it out, just stop and breathe
Yeah.
and feel where the energy is.
That's it.
Just feel where it
That's the
is.
key.
And the more you do that, the
Yeah.
more clear it becomes.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's just so clear these days as to no, not that, but this. And it could be
Mm.
anything. Like this morning, I had put on my gym clothes to go to the gym,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
like, no, actually, not today.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a laziness, it was just
Right.
no, no,
Just
not
no.
today, not
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the more you do that, the more you follow the energy, the more it's just the energy is really obvious as to which
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
follow it and what to say yes to and what to say no
I
to.
agree. I agree. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. It's cool. Yay.
Awesome. So,
Excellent.
yay. Please leave your comments behind and love to hear how you follow the energy and
Yeah.
what your choices are.
Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Ameed,
Thanks,
and thank
Eleni.
you, Marcus.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you for tuning in to Galactic Gardens. We hope that the messages that you receive from the higher realms have brought you clarity, insight, and comfort. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Remember to stay connected to your own inner guidance and trust the journey ahead.